Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Tuesday evening, August 19, 2025. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you all like this video. I'd really appreciate it if you all get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you all utilize the progress bar that's located at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located not only in the comment section but the video description, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most in order to save time, because we know that the videos over here with the Jamaica can be very long. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so we need to highlight this post that was made on our social media platform today, recognizing the anniversary for Hurricane Dean. It states here, today in hurricane history, 18 years ago on August 19, 2007, Hurricane Dean roared past Jamaica's south coast as a Category 4, with extreme winds and torrential rainfall, causing 4 fatalities and resulting in $300 million in damages in Jamaica. Do you remember this hurricane? And we put together a nice video on our Twitter page and even longer video on our Instagram page showing the satellite imagery, the path, as well as the effects of Hurricane Dean on Jamaica that you'd love to see. And we definitely have some commenters who confirmed that they definitely remember this hurricane. We have JLS stating, yep, was a youth then. We have Bird stating 18 years ago. Then a Summit All. We have Andre stating, yes. We also have Nessa stating, I remember this. We have Tassi stating, hurricane traumatized me when I was a kid. I look through my window and see my neighbor them rooftop lip off and them a run go out look help. Me get fever instantly, legit burning up. Even on our Instagram page, we had some comments coming in. We had Designer Sprite stating, yes, I remember this one. Fitzroy stating, I was about 7 living with my mother and sister alone. We have Sagi King stating, I remember. I saw trees tear down and a roof lift up. Xanthos 93 stating, PTSD, man lost my roof. We have the perfect example stating, swear Dean moved so fast, came by around 7 and 9 o'clock, everything clear, only rain, but Ivan, Jesus Christ, even in the next day afternoon still getting strong breeze. And even on our YouTube page we had the comments coming in. We had Randall Grease stating, good morning with the Jamaica, yes I remember that storm, it was very bad. We have Lawrence Davis stating, thanks for the reminder, I had only one solar panel and an old car battery back then. It could give me lights at night and charge my phones. Well, you've been using the solar panels for a long time, Lawrence. I thought it was just last year. We have Active 4081 stating, yeah man, weather Jamaica. We have Tony Williams stating, how could I forget? I was getting ready to graduate from NCU. And Richie stating, can't forget, he fell my back wall. Okay. Alright, so that indeed confirms that. For me, I definitely remember Hurricane Dean. My sister was here from Italy, and boy, the wind and the rain was crazy here in St. Thomas. Some strong winds. I definitely saw a few of my neighbors' roof flying off and coming my way. I remember my sister dashing from the veranda when she saw the roof coming our way. It was crazy. Yeah man, Hurricane Dean was special, and not to mention the weeks without electricity afterwards. Boy, that isn't cute at all. We hope we don't, have any more systems like that this or next year. Alright, taking a look at the US Climate Prediction Center's Global Tropics Hazards Outlook. We have the update here that just came out today from the forecaster All Good, and we're looking at the time frame from August 27 to September 2, as well as September 3 to September 9. And all we're seeing across the Atlantic for 27th of August into September 2 is just some red and white patterns right here off the coast of Africa that we know represents what we see on the key on the bottom left. A 20% chance of tropical cyclone formation probability, while it increases for the time period from September 3 to September 9. We see something here maybe to the south of Jamaica into the Western Caribbean and the Southern Gulf, as well as across the main development region. So it's getting quite active as we head into the peak of hurricane season. We know that the peak date is September 10, so it makes sense that we're seeing more areas of something trying to formulate, even more increased rainfall across the Western Caribbean. Just to the west of Jamaica, we see some slight greens that represents a 50% chance of above average rainfall probability. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. We know that what the US Climate Prediction Center usually shows on these global tropics hazards outlook isn't 100% set in stone, so we have to take these forecasts as a grain of salt. Taking a look at the US National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook that just came out at 7:58 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 6:58 p.m. Jamaica time. We see that we still have tropical storm Erin right here to the northeast of the Bahamas. We have that code orange here that has a 60% chance of cyclone formation as expected to pass just to the north of the Leeward Islands. And we still have that code yellow right here, now off to the southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. And if we take a look at the infrared, we can make out all of the entities that we just mentioned. Clouds associated with the ever formidable hurricane Erin, lots of showers and thunderstorms still affecting the Bahamas as we speak. We see the clouds associated with that code orange right in here, as well as that batch of thunderstorms just to the southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands associated with that code yellow. And if we actually zoom in and read what the Hurricane Center has stated regarding the code orange, the most recent information, it states here: a tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic continues to produce a broad area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of the system, and a tropical depression could form late this week or over the weekend while it moves near or the north of the northern Leeward Islands. And we see that they've given the area a 10% chance of cyclone formation within the next 2 days and a 60% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. Regarding the other system right here to the southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands, they've stated here: a tropical wave located just southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands continues to produce shower and thunderstorm activity while it moves westward at about 15 miles per hour. A short-lived tropical depression could form during the next day or two before environmental conditions before unfavorable. Well, I guess they were the ones who made the error, so they put two befores. A short-lived tropical depression could form during the next day or two before environmental conditions become, not before Hurricane Center, get it together. Yes, the guys are stressed. They're putting before instead of become unfavorable for further development late this week. And we see that they've given the area a 30% chance of cyclone formation within the next 2 days and a 30% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. So who knows, maybe this system might become the next name on the list before the code orange, even although the code orange has a higher chance of development. Very interesting. So it could become Fernand. Regarding the Euro Spaghetti Model Plus right here, we see that it's expected to push off towards the west, as we can see here. The GFS, something similar, pushing off towards the west. And even the intensity model guidance isn't really that robust. Tries to really take it up to tropical storm status within the next 24 hours. And it actually looks like it's capable of doing that. I mean, look at the deep convection associated with it. It's looking quite formidable. So it might just get the next name, which is Fernand. So maybe the code orange gets the Gabriel name. Regarding Erin, we still see Erin right here spinning away to the northeast of the Bahamas. All of the bad weather turning up the seas. We've been hearing a lot of talk about the surf that it is going to cause off the east coast of the US as it pushes off towards the north and then towards the northeast, according to the Euro Spaghetti Model Plus and the GFS Spaghetti Model Plus right here. Clearly the intensity should take it down. As of right now, it is at category 2 strength, expected to go down as we head throughout the next 7 days. But regarding what the Hurricane Center has stated, it is now packing maximum sustained winds of 105 miles per hour. You know that anywhere from 96 to 110 miles per hour winds is designated a category 2 hurricane. It's expected to continue moving off towards the north-northwest at 10 miles per hour, and we can see that they have tropical storm warnings up for portions of the eastern coast of the North Carolina area. Tropical storm watches up for the eastern coast of Virginia, maybe even Delaware as well. very interesting for now, but we see that's expected to thread the needle between the US East Coast and Bermuda. They even have a tropical storm. Watch up for Bermuda as well. Taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. Don't even look at anything else. We know that it's going to be churning up the waves, you know, bring a lot of strong winds, bring some rainfall between the US and Bahamas. Nothing else to talk about regarding Erin. The surface map right here confirming Erin's location. We see a tropical wave right here across the eastern Caribbean, just to the east of the Leeward and Windward Islands. Another tropical wave, that's the code orange, and the other tropical wave, that's the code yellow, right here near the Cabo Verde Islands. And if we take a look back at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before we lost sunlight, we can make out the clouds associated with Erin. Look how big the system is. A lot of clouds still fanning out. We can see the clouds associated with that code orange right here. Most of the convection on the southern side of it near the intertropical convergence zone. And this era, wouldn't be surprised if it becomes a tropical storm maybe tomorrow. For sure, it's looking quite formidable as we speak. Taking a look at what was predicted in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, it was stated that we could have received some afternoon rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes during Tuesday afternoon. And we know eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew. Central parishes, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, like St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Catherine. Western parishes, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening at around 4:05 p.m. that was when the post was made here, not only on our Twitter page with the Jamaica, but it was also made on our Instagram page with the Jamaica, on our TikTok page with the Jamaica, and on our Facebook page with the Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we can see the thunderstorms that took place across sections of eastern, central, and western parishes. It was a mostly cloudy day for the most part, with all of those high cirrus clouds streaking off from Erin pushing down into Jamaica. We can see the thunderstorms better on the visible satellite image right here popping up, especially across section of northern St. Catherine, section of Clarendon earlier today. Definitely a bit hard to see with all of the high level clouds streaking off towards the southwest. But the infrared definitely confirming where we had that thunderstorm. I mean, look at where we had the lightning strikes. Wherever you see the sparkling white dots, I think we had some thunderstorms over in Portland earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me see if I can get it updated, showing more. Really, this is it? But well, I'm pretty sure that we definitely had some thunderstorms in Portland this morning, for sure. I definitely saw it over there. And we also had some thunderstorms across sections of Clarendon into St. Catherine. We also had some thunderstorms across sections of Trelawney into St. Anne right over here for sure. So it was definitely a section of eastern, central, and western Jamaica for sure. Some isolated thundershowers here and there. Nothing widespread at all. And we definitely have confirmation right here. See Jamaica's YouTube channel. This is the Bogwalk Gorge at around 3:19 p.m. And look at the heavy rainfall that was taking place today. Look at that. Even a bit blinding in a way. You can hardly see. That is what you call heavy rainfall. Even causing some skips in the live stream right here. Look at the trees taking a pelting. Look at that. Almost blinding rain. Whites everywhere. That is some real heavy rainfall that took place. That's 3:21 p.m. People in their vehicles still going about their business at that time though. And I would like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, just visit See Jamaica on YouTube. They have these live streams all for you all to view for free. So subscribe today so that you don't miss out. Alright, very good. Taking a look at some of the comments that came in today regarding the weather across Jamaica for today. We had Carla Rattray stating little tips of rain in Kingston 6. We had Guineas Barking stating still no rain. We had Shakur Channel stating no rain in the west, sorry. On our YouTube page, we had Randall Green stating good evening weather Jamaica. We don't get any rain in Brownstone State and today, but it was cloudy at the time that he posted. Let us reload the very latest from the Weather Nerds website. Let's see what's happening right now though. Alright, so the very latest still image is showing 0045 UTC, which is actually 7:45 p.m. So this just came out 14 minutes ago, considering that it's 7:59 p.m. now. We still have some leftover high cirrus clouds from airing. We see the whites into the blues, into the greens, just some high cirrus clouds, nothing significant at all. Let us reload the very latest Jamaican Doppler radar, the very latest Cuban Doppler radar, the very latest Guantanamo Bay US Navy radar, and the very latest Cayman radar to confirm what's happening right now. Alright, so the latest Jamaican Doppler radar confirming that rainfall that took place today. We saw that in the morning across sections of St. Elizabeth into Manchester, then during the afternoon. Just work with the Doppler radar. Alright, there we go. So Manchester, St. Elizabeth, 1816 UTC. That was about 1:16 p.m. Then as time went on, we saw the rain bands developing across section of Eastern St. James, Western Trelawney, section of St. Elizabeth still getting on that rainfall at that time. We also saw some rainfall across sections of Clarendon into sections of St. Catherine. We even saw that rain band across sections of Portland as well to confirm. And the Cuban Doppler radar looks like it glitched out today at around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's actually 1 p.m. Jamaica time. The Guantanamo Bay US Navy radar right now showing some isolated shores that were across the waters to the north of St. Mary. But we do see some isolated shores here and there in and around southeastern Cuba. Nothing significant across Haiti though. Regarding the Cayman radar, we can actually make out some rain bands right here across section of south central Cuba. Nothing affecting the Cayman Islands or western Jamaica at this time. And if we take a look at the live camera right here, see Jamaica's YouTube channel showing that it is definitely fair around the Devon House intersection right here. People walking about, going about their business. Look at that, somebody's getting their windshield clean at this time. People in their vehicles going about their business. Nothing in the way of bad weather taking place at this time. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, weekend is about 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Wednesday, temperature should dip down to about 26 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. The temperature forecast for Jamaica for tomorrow has Jamaica shaded in the grays and the yellows. That represents average to at least 1 degree Celsius above average temperatures. And we know the average temperature for the month of August across Jamaica is around 91 degrees Fahrenheit. And when that's converted to degrees Celsius that we use here in Jamaica, that's around 32.8 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 32.8 to 33.8 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Wednesday. And we have a few maintenance outage advisories here from my JPS Online Twitter page that we have to highlight. And we know that we have to highlight these because we know that when we're power outages somewhere across the island, it can definitely make the heat feel even worse because we don't have our fan or our AC to cool us down. So if you live or work in these areas, or if you have friends or relatives who live or work in these areas, please let them know that a power outage is coming their way on Wednesday, August 20, 2025. We're referring to Old Stony Hill Road, Stilwell Road, Everest Apartment, Mount Royal, Diamond Road, Ponton Road, Christopher Road. What is this? FT George. We have a Wireless Station Road, section of Mannings Hill Road, section of Mount Salus Road, all in the parish of St. Andrew from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We also have Guys Hill, Benbow, Middlesex, Bonnet District, Devil Race Course, all in the parish of St. Catherine from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we have some tips right here to beat the heat as usual. It states here, dress down, wear lightweight clothing and use sunscreen. Check on others, including children, elderly people with medical conditions and pets. Be cool, stay indoors and make use of fans and air conditioners. Avoid alcohol and caffeine as they can make dehydration worse. Limit non-essential strenuous activity during the hottest parts of the day. And I cannot stress enough the importance of keeping hydrated throughout the day. And drink lots of water even if you're not thirsty. And put away those sugar drinks and drink water instead. The dry air map, as we know, the dry air is represented by what we see here on the key on the bottom, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and the whites within those areas. And we can see a lot of dry air extending from Africa across the northern main development region into the eastern Caribbean, the northern portion of the North Atlantic. We know that the dry air is responsible for keeping the atmosphere stable, making it harder for it to rain. But we're glad that we're seeing more moisture across the Caribbean these days, the southwestern Atlantic, the Gulf, off the coast of Central America into the intertropical convergence zone. That's where we see the most moist air. That's where we see the most clouds. And that's what we want. We want more clouds to bring us rainfall so that we get more water in our pipes. But regarding the Saharan dust forecast, we're seeing that the Saharan dust is making a comeback. We see all of the greens, yellows, oranges coming in, pushing through. It's not a strong plume, but it is going to be noticeable in a way. We see that by August 20, it's not really affecting us on August 20, but by August 21, it's definitely going to be here affecting us across Jamaica. Some slight hazy skies. August 22 as well, starting to dwindle as we head throughout the weekend. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow Still seeing that the highest waves across the western hemisphere are right here, just to the north of the Bahamas, to the east of the US, associated with Hurricane Erin. All of those purples, pinks, burgundies, into the oranges and the whites that represents all the way up to 9 or more meter wave heights, while the Caribbean, anywhere from the light shades of blues to dark shades of blues, represents anywhere from 0.5 meter wave height all the way up to 1, maybe up to 1.5 meter wave heights. And that's because of the winds that are expected. Definitely weak winds across the Gulf into the western and central Caribbean. We see more of an easterly flow starting to make a comeback from the eastern to the central Caribbean. And we see all of the air wrapping up into the anti-cyclone, which is Erin. But regarding Jamaica's wave forecast for tomorrow, still going to be getting some low waves on the west coast, 0.1 of a meter wave height to the north of Hanover tomorrow, 0.2 of a meter wave height to the south of Westmoreland, 0.3 of a meter wave height to the south of Clarendon, 0.2 of a meter wave height to the north of St. Anne, 0.4 of a meter wave height to the north of Portland, while to the south of St. Thomas, 0.4 of a meter wave height. And that's because of the winds that are expected. The winds are definitely expected to come back in. We see more of a southeasterly kind of flow on the south coast for sure. And we see that the air is going to be piling up here. Look at where the air is going to be piling up. As a matter of fact, with this southeasterly flow, we might just get all of the air that was piling up all along because of Erin's circulation. So we might just get some decent rainfall coming through. But if anything, most of the rainfall would be piling up across the northern and western end if you actually get that daytime heating, those low-level clouds becoming mid-level rain clouds, if not upper-level cumulonimbus clouds, and then the upper-level wind shear blowing those cloud tops off towards the west for sure. But regarding the actual rainfall forecast maps, these maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 10 a.m. Jamaica time. And we can clearly see the rainfall as represented by the blues across eastern Jamaica. We're talking about sections of St. Thomas and Portland for 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Then by Wednesday afternoon, this is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. And we see the blues that represent rainfall across all parishes, eastern, central, and western parishes. We're talking about St. Thomas, Portland, section of St. Mary, Kingston, St. Andrew, section of St. Catherine, St. Anne, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, St. James, sections of Hanover and Westmoreland getting in on some of the action. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in agreement with that forecast. So look out for that rainfall, especially on Wednesday afternoon. And even the total accumulated precipitation forecast maps here from the Euro and the GFS are in agreement that it's going to be raining somewhere in Jamaica within the next 24 hours. The Euro only going up to at least 0.2 of an inch of rainfall. The GFS only going up to at least 0.35 of an inch of rainfall, especially in Portland. I know that we have to take these forecasts with a grain of salt. It could be more than that, it could be less than that. So look out. Whatever happens, we'll definitely take it though. We're in the month of August, and in Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually receive almost 100 millimeters of rainfall for the month of August. That's almost 4 inches of rainfall. In Montego Bay, we usually receive almost 5 inches of rainfall. That's almost 125 millimeters of rainfall. And I would like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your specific parish usually receives in terms of rainfall for the month of August or for the entire year, you can visit weatherandclimate.com, and that website will show you that information. And you can use this nice graphic right here that converts rainfall from inches to millimeters. We know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. Alright, so we're going to be looking at what the next 7 days have in store for us according to the latest Euro and GFS supercomputer model runs that came out today. So keep your eyes focused on the timestamp right here at the top as we go out to the next 168 hours. That stands for the next 7 days. Keep your eyes focused on Jamaica right here as we look for all of this that we see on the key on the right. That's the reds, the oranges, the yellows, and the greens that represents inches of rainfall. So let's see what's going to be taking place. So we just looked at Wednesday's forecast. Quite a wet Wednesday, especially Wednesday afternoon. Then on Thursday, 7 a.m. on Thursday, we see some rainfall across the waters to our south. Some of it across southern parishes and eastern parishes. Interesting. Then on Thursday afternoon, the Euro has the rainfall across especially western parishes. What does the GFS show? The GFS shows some amount of rainfall. Right, hold on. Let me see something. Oh yeah, good. The GFS shows some amount of rainfall right here across the waters to our south. And then on a Thursday afternoon, well, look at that. Rainfall is across northern and western parishes. Interesting. What do we see here for Friday morning? Friday morning, we see some rainfall across the far eastern end of the island on the Euro. Friday afternoon, we see some rainfall across maybe some southern parishes. What does the GFS show? Friday morning, not really much of anything. Friday afternoon, what do we see? maybe some rainfall across the far eastern end. Let us see what Saturday morning has in store for us. On Saturday morning, not really seeing much of anything. Saturday afternoon, maybe some rainfall across some central and eastern parishes. Let us see what the GFS shows. Saturday morning, some rainfall to the southeast of us. Saturday afternoon, what do we see? Maybe some rainfall across eastern to northern parishes. By the way, this is where the code orange should be. Look at that, way to the north of the Leeward Islands. The GFS also showing it right here to the north of Puerto Rico. A lot of moisture associated with it. We're starting to see the models come more in consensus. Let us see what's expected on Sunday morning though. Sunday morning we see some moisture right here to the south of Haiti, to the east of Jamaica on the Euro. Then on the afternoon we see some rainfall across southern parishes. What does the GFS show? Sunday morning, rainfall to our south. Sunday afternoon, rainfall across especially central and western parishes. What do we see on Monday morning though? On Monday morning, rainfall across eastern parishes. Monday afternoon, rainfall across some northern and western parishes. And we're going to be stopping it right here at the end of the 168 hours. So this is valid for Tuesday, August 26th. Interesting that we're seeing some moisture across the south central to the southeastern Caribbean. A lot of moisture at that. Could that be associated with the code yellow? We have to wait to find out. Let us see if the GFS is showing something similar. Monday morning, rainfall southwest of us. We see the code orange right there. Monday afternoon, rainfall across eastern, central, and western parishes. Then we're going to be stopping it right here at the end of the 168 hours as well. So this is also valid for Tuesday, August 26th. We're seeing the moisture across the southeastern Caribbean, but we don't see much of anything for Jamaica at that time. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly what unfolds though. But regarding the total accumulated precipitation forecast maps here from the year and the GFS, both maps are adamant that the most rainfall as usual is going to be across portion of northern South America into Central America, where the dark reds into the purples and the pinks are located. That's the 2 all the way to maybe the 5 inches of rainfall range that we see here on the key on the right. While other areas that are shaded in the greens, yellows, oranges, and the reds, maybe the inch or less of rainfall for the Greater Antilles into the Lesser Antilles. But regarding Jamaica's rainfall totals for the next 7 days, both maps right here from the year and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until Tuesday, August 26th. And we see Jamaica right here on the Euro shaded in the blues, greens, and yellows. That represents anywhere from 1 millimeter of rainfall all the way up to 38 millimeters of rainfall, especially on the northwestern side. The GFS showing something similar, especially on the north coast, with the rainfall totals maybe getting up to the 40, maybe close to 50 millimeters of rainfall range. It's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out, and I will definitely be here to keep you posted with what occurs. Taking a look at the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we're starting to get back in on our usual easterly kind of flow. The Erin, the system is starting to push away to the north, so it's not really prohibiting that easterly flow anymore. It's starting to come back in. We're seeing the clouds right here associated with that broad airflow pressure trying to get its act together. The other strong tropical wave to the southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands trying to get its act together. Could be a tropical depression, if not a tropical storm, within the next 24 hours. I'm sure of that. But if we take a look at the Barbados radar, we're actually seeing the moisture pushing in from the east. They're definitely getting in on some moisture right here, pushing into section of Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. Grenada getting in on some of the action as well. Regarding what's happening right here on the weather view of Doppler radar images, we can see some decent rainfall across section of southern and western Florida, some rainfall across southern Cuba, section of the Yucatan, northern Guatemala getting on some amount of rainfall. If we take a look at the rainfall totals that are expected within the next 24 hours, we see rainfall definitely expected for portions of Florida, the Bahamas, Cuba, section of Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, sections of Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, and we see that both the year and the GFS modes are in agreement with that forecast. What's happening on the eastern Pacific? Not really much. Tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days, and this is the reason why. Not really much of anything organized, just the intertropical convergence zone right here to the south. Regarding the western Pacific though, that tropical depression pushed inland into China, so that's expected to dissipate. That's tropical depression 70. We have a brand new tropical depression to the northeast of Taiwan, and we have a code yellow right here to the east of the Philippines. And if we take a look at the infrared, we can make out all of these entities. First of all, we have China right here into Vietnam. We have the Philippines right in here. We have Taiwan here. We have Japan right in here. That tropical depression 17 over here starting to dissipate because it's over land. Tropical depression 18 right here, going to be affecting the southern Japanese islands. And we have that cold yellow right here to the east of the Philippines. And if we take a look at the statistics regarding tropical depression 18, it's expected to push out towards the northeast, then towards the northeast, maybe affecting southwestern Japan. Very interesting. We see it increasing in intensity 25 knots, maybe up to 30 knots at most. We know that that represents tropical depression status, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be making it up to tropical storm status at all. But it could affect southern Japan. We know that we have a lot of friends or relatives who live or work in Japan, so get in touch with them to find out if they're going to be affected by this system. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.